Hello. It's been a little while since I've done one of these because I was caught up in some projects, but today I am going to try to get a C++ plugin going. This is again using Solr2D, which I have linked in the side in the chat. And the plugin in question what I would like to do is get it to the point where I can do one of these examples. This is called Blend2D, and it's, I don't know if it's vector, but it's I think it is. It's for programmatic art using curves and paths and that sort of thing. And it's got quite an API, so I'll be following this list of the C API. But I also see that there's the API is also listed in the source, so I'll probably be consulting that just as much as whatever else I do. In recent days, I've been doing some other plugins. So this is using a new version of Solr2D that has something called collectors. And so you can actually, I mean, in theory, you can generalize where you're grabbing your plugins from. And there was another folder added for that very purpose, which I spent a little while adjusting some post-build events in Visual Studio to do. And apologies if if I'm talking a little funny because I have a tooth that's giving me some problems. But so if this goes well, I will have this pointing at. I don't know if it did show up. This is in another window, so I'm not sure if it'll show up or not. But oh, it looks so far so good. I don't know if these are showing up because I don't see them in the projector on the side. I'll try to build it. It does take a little while. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but oh, there we go. I must have cleaned this project and rebuilt it, but I thought it was a quicker build the last time. And this looks about where I want it to be. Yeah, I think that's correct. So this project will have a lot of little objects in it, because as we see in the source, there's contexts and files, fonts, font data, font face, font manager, glyphs, images, I think, are gradients. And while I'm adhering to I'm starting with the C API, but over time, I think it'll converge more to the C++ API. I just wanted the comprehensive list that I had available in the C API. But I'll be making objects in C++. So if I have something like this, say, I'll be building it in Lua as basically like this. So that'll create an object, and it'll last until it goes out of scope. So if the Lua function runs out without you having assigned it to something, such as a table or somewhere else in your Lua code that receives it. But until then, it's a valid object. And possibly, see, I don't know how the trouble is that a lot of these objects, you can destroy them, but you might still have the Lua object around with the object destroyed. And I mean, you can say that it's someone else's fault if they use the object once it's been destroyed, but it would be better to give an error message. So what we might do is for instance, one way to do this is to attach a Boolean that you would nil out when the object is destroyed manually, say. And I think that's going to be the most straightforward way to start this. So, but once we have our object, we can demonstrate that we have it in Lua. So I will, this is, okay. Make a new file. And I'll put this. I have a testing repository. I will put that in there. Thanks. Let's see. Again, I don't know if this is even showing up, but because there's some file menus and whatnot. I'll copy one of these. Entity. Okay. So I just copied over another project, but I wanted to look at that folder I just, or at that, I should look up the plugin I just deposited in that folder. And this will be for the Lin2D plugin. And again, this is all from stuff I copied. So if that works, we should see specify procedure. Okay. Okay, so it was looking for a folder and couldn't find it. But did we get anything? No, of course we didn't, because it wasn't. It was in the file that should be loaded. So my hotkeys are getting snagged. Okay, close this one. Why is this not showing up? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I was looking for plugin underscore blend2d. I've got inconsistent capitalization. I think it's under, yeah, it's lowercase, should be lowercase b, because as you see here, it's like that. So this signature, blue open plugin underscore is always the same, but this latter bit, this blend2d, it should be exactly what you see in here after the plugin dot. So now we gotta see this. Oh, yeah, huh. 3. What would that be? No, it's still worked. I'm worried this is some kind of caching thing, but it does look like it's a bug in my project itself. So export. Oh, so I'm where did I get? Odd that gave. So I'm wondering if this is because I wasn't returning a table, I was returning the object, and then I thought you could do that. No, this takes a while to build. Compare this against something else, I guess. Sorry for the dead air at the moment. I'm genuinely confused at, at this. This looks like an error I was having yesterday, where I was stumped, which unfortunately I doubt is even visible. Yeah. There's some. Oh. Yeah, there's something in the build script that's off. I'm going to. I should have probably done this a little beforehand. But let me see if I can fix that because it's. I'll have to set up some. Some other views to see this. Okay, so there was maybe I might have yeah, I think I built it first, then I added this. I don't know what exactly I did, but there was something broken about the way I was doing that post build event. So I think now it's up after that very puzzling interlude. So we can see this address at the very end here, which is oh, here, that's the last one. So that would be the object that we created. Now I'll clear that and go back here. So that's all well and good. But what we're going to want to do is add some behaviors to our objects. And so typically you'll use something like this. I believe this is a name. So you hover over it. No, it's a number. Is it a number? Oh no, we don't want get metatable, we want new metatable. Yeah, there we go. So this one we'll call object. And it will return a value. I'll look that up really quick. So Lua new metatable. If the name already exists, return 0. So we want if it's not 0, and even if it already exists, it'll still push it on the stack. So due to that, we can assign it to the object like so. And I'll return this instead. So Lua set metatable, and we want -2 because our stack is like that, and here it'll be like that. But we're going to want to add these objects to, or add some functions to our object. So we're going to call these object funcs. And they'll be L reg object funcs. And we all in these with 2 nils. So that's the name and the function. But that's what register expects. And okay, this is an array. So let's give them something. We'll call it action. And this is what all Lua functions look like in C. Wacky formatting. I need to disable that option, but okay. So, and they also have to return an integer that says how many return values the function has. At the moment, it's just going to have 0. Yeah. Well, let's return a value. Integer 6, and we'll return that. And this will push it onto the stack, but it won't be the same stack as you see out here. It'll be actions stack. So we should expect action to return 6. And if we go back to this and run it. Oh, okay, so first we'll go back here to main, and blend2d should be one of our objects. So if we print blend2d, and we want to print blend2d action. So index user data value. Okay, so something's wrong, but we can see that it indicates that it's a user data value. What am I not doing? Let's see. This should register all these funcs into meta table, which should be at the top of the stack like so. No, but I suppose right, okay. I need okay. These are, I'm treating these like these are methods, but what I really need to do, I need to give a meta method. So I need to give it an index. Because it's user data, so it doesn't have a way to be indexed, so you need to supply it. Now I'm trying to think how I want to do that. Because it's going to these need to go into something. So right. So okay. So if I don't have the key that was requested, I'll get the meta. Yeah, I'm putting these all in the meta table, so I'll get the meta table from the first object. The objects will be the user data and then the key that you are asking for. So those are at indices 1 and 2. So I'll get the meta table of the user data, like so, and then I want to fetch whatever was in that out of the meta table. So I'll switch these around by inserting into the second position from the front, or from the top of the stack. So the top of the stack is -1, and the spot below that is -2. So I'll put the item at the top of the stack into -2, which will make it look like that. And then I want to get the item at, and generally because of the way in Lua you can call things just adding as many parameters as you want, you can't always assume that you're going to start with 2 elements on the top of the stack. So it might actually have been, you might want to enforce that by setting the top or using negative indices to access things. But in this case, because it's an index meta method, it'll have a standard form. It'll just be those 2 items. So we can assume here as well that that's in slot 2, and that we have 2 and 3 here. So raw get will use the item at the top of the stack as a key to pull out of slot 2, and we'll get V, which might or might not be nil. It doesn't have to be anything, but What am I doing? Forgotten something. Oh, okay. Put a comma there. Give me a second. I'm still getting my Corona log thing, so it seems like this is slightly. I think maybe I'm not getting the most recent code. Some of this stuff is a bit whip. So let me delete this and see if we get a. How's that go? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I have to. I think I have to purge the cache on some of these plugins because I'm getting things that are out of date. But so we got our user data back, and we got 6, and that's exactly what we wanted. So the index will look up. It doesn't know. It has no idea what action is. So it says, okay, here you go. Your key is going to be action. Look yourself up. And since we're just putting this all in a table and registering it as the meta table, you want to get the meta table back and look it up in there. In general, you don't have to do that because it's probably a decent idea for functions like that. I mean, that's the way I do it in Lua code itself. So I think we'll just stick with that for now. But and we're going to be reusing this pattern all over the place. So maybe we can make a little function for this and just over time I'm going to very likely use some utilities I have, but I didn't want to drag them in just yet. So just be on the safe side, I'll purge this stuff again. Have to turn it off. And of course, that's none of this, as you see it, is particularly useful. But this is the form that things will take on. And right, so what I might do is instead of allocating just an object, I might add an object and a bool at the end. Then what we can do is go to, okay, so we're going to reinterpret object, we'll say object 1. So this is the address just past object. So it's as if two objects were next to one another. We can do that because it's a pointer. We're going to reinterpret that memory address right after as a bool. And because it's an array, they should be compact and like that. And set that to true. So that will know what I want to say. That says we have a legal object. Okay, so it worked. Now we're going to be doing that a little bit more, so we'll try to generalize this a bit. So new, we want this to return it D star. We'll just call it new, I guess. And I think we want. No, we can be explicit about this right now. I was saying we could fold this whole thing in, but not now. So let's bring this in. And instead of objects, these will be a T. And we can still call it object there, but and return object. So we can just now do object L. So, and if we want the result, we can grab it too. And then we'll put object up here. And this is more of a C++ in Lua lesson than actually doing anything with Blend 2D, for which I apologize. This is treading old ground. I better try it again. So like this stuff. All right, I don't need to pull it. And so far so good. We've got our same results. And finally, we'll have something to get such an object. So this is where a couple of those things come in handy. So we have a getter, and we want a name. So we'll check that this is a user data. Oh, we also want an argument. So this is where it is on the stack, because it could be the first argument if we're using it as one of the methods, for instance, but you might want it more general. So we'll give it that. And check view data if it's not a user data, or if the name doesn't match what we gave it to begin with, then it'll just barf on us. So assuming we got that far, we'll have our we'll turn that into our, I guess for consistency, we'll call this object. We want to return that, but we also want to, yeah, we'll do this. So we want to make sure that our Boolean is still valid. So we'll take this test we did here and repeat it again. So that'll be a way to guard against if we destroy an object, because I looked through Boolean2D and a lot of those have a destroy method, but they don't provide any support on their own to indicate that. Arg and say that object has been destroyed. And now that we have, I'm trying to think if yeah, we can try this. Okay, so we'll have something to get the get xy, let's call it. And we'll return 2. And we had, so this is our object, right? And just to be on the safe side, I guess, this is, you don't have to, but we'll memset we'll memset the object to 0. And that won't affect the bool, but we're rewriting it anyway right after. So that'll 0 the memory out when we make a new object, and we'll just do that to be safe for now. So we want to get now we want to get an object. We build a get, I guess. Get object, and it'll be the first item because it'll be the first index if we are calling it with colon syntax, or if we put one of these in the first slot. So we'll be good citizens and do exactly that. And we called it an object. And then we'll push push x, which I believe is an int. Ah. So now it looks like object x, and I push y. So object x, y. And that's signature, and we want to be able to assign these now, so uindex, and this is like index, except instead of having user data key, we'll have user data key and value. So this is it says I don't know how to assign a value, but here's what I got. So it'll be a signature like this. So we'll get how do I want to do this? So if it's a string, we're not going to return anything. We're just assigning a value. So if it's a string, get the string. And if the string is x, or if the string is y, and we're comparing it to 0 because this is what's called what is it called? There's a term for this, but it's if the value is less, in this case in alphabetical order, it'll be a negative result. If it's equal, it's a 0 result. If it's greater, alphabetically greater, it's positive. So it's doing that. And we want to get our, that should be 3, this should be 2. Okay, so if we have x, then we will set, I also want the object. And you'll have to do this in all your little functions, so it can get a little old, but it is what it is. Okay, so it's x, we set the value to x, and if it's y, we assign the value to y. Now let's wipe these, just be on the safe side, and build. And I forgot a semicolon somewhere, I think. Oh, this is right. Forgot a brace. And now we have that. What we want to do is our source will assign x can be 14 and y can be 8. And now we'll print the results when we get xy, which I believe is what we call these. Xy, turn to. Alright, so and let's see if it works. Okay. Yeah, there we go. 14 and 8. So that's how you can assign to a user data. So you need to tell it how to interpret whatever you're giving it, and then like so. And the index is how you can retrieve something. This isn't quite as reusable, although just because these are actually the index, we won't be able to get the x and y back in the usual way because we would need to do something similar to this for the index. As it is, it's just looking it up in the meta type, the meta table. But if we wanted to also look in the object itself, we'd have to make this a little more than it is. Anyway, I guess I could do. No, I'll do that too. So it'll look a lot like this. So if it's a string, and if it's one of these strings, then I'll just do this the long way. So if it gets this far, we'll push X onto the stack. And return it. And ditto with Y. Otherwise, even if it is a string, but just if it's a string or if it's not a string, we'll just fall through and then go on to index like we did before. And whenever I stop like that, I'm cleaning up the plugins because it's going to be a mess in the background otherwise. Okay, so we have that method, and we can also reassign X to, say, 703. And now we'll get those. And confirm that they match what get XY returns. So number expected got no value. Why did I do that? Oh, okay. That's a copy paste error. Okay, so in this case, there's no value there, so we shouldn't have been checking it, and we shouldn't have been asserting on it, definitely, because we know for a fact that it's a meta method, so it won't even have that ever. All right. and there we go, 14,730, which we assigned. And, yeah, so it was the y, and it's 730, and then 14, and they both return the same value, so it works as expected. I'll like this again. Okay, so in this getting started that I showed earlier, we need an image, a context, a path, and a codec with some methods. Or if we go to the second, let's see if the second example is an image, context, a gradient, a codec. I don't think, okay, I think the first one's just as good. I'm not guaranteeing I'll get this done, but I want to at least start. So this is the example number 1 with the example number 1 and then getting started. So I'll do this step up now. That was hang out. And where are we at? We want blend 2D here. Now I think, how do I want to organize this? I think I'll add a new I think I want to break this up into several files for each of the objects. So I'll have one kind of common, and I don't know if this might not be showing up either because it's another window. But I'll have a common header, so you can see that just appeared there on the side. And I'll add that. So I'm making the source public now, so I'll make a point of adding all these MIT licenses everywhere. I think I have it listed in the repository itself, but I'll just, to be on the safe side, I'll put everything there. And I think this is what do I want to do here? This is I think I want a bunch of little mini plugins that just have, well, they're just going to be tables, but I don't think I need to return anything, but it couldn't hurt. Yeah, I'll do that. And these were, back to the example again. A context, codec. Okay, I want these alphabetically. add context. And yeah, why not? Add codec, add image. A little dark. I guess I'm not going to run tonight. And there was one more path. And let's put these in. We'll call some of this stuff utils. I guess I can just put, yeah, I don't need that here. So we'll put this here so that it can be found. Another filter for classes, I guess, and add new item. So this will be a C++ file. This will be a codec. Context, image, and path. And then finally, well, couple more. Some of the details, and add another one for the header. That's not existing. This must look strange on the other end if those windows aren't actually showing up. But here's helping. So blend. All right, so I'll add this to all of these. Okay, I don't know if we're going to need utils.cpp yet. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So not really an amazing need for it, but okay. So we'll put index in there. I think we'll always be including that anyway, but just in case. And no, it shouldn't be static anymore. We'll declare it here so that we can reuse it. These meanwhile are templates, so they've got to be in there. In the header, that is. So we'll take that out and include our utils here. Make sure it all builds. Line constant. Where's that happening? inconsistent quotes. Okay, I'm freaking out because this has stuff that's in that's stuff that's already in the Blend 2D source code. I had to do this with some other files as well. So I guess Visual Studio doesn't like it. I don't know if the other IDEs mind so much, but or the other compilers rather. Linker errors though. What would that be? It should. So they're all going to start like this. Time will change. Forgot that. Wow, I'm really on the ball. This has got to be. There must be something with a name. Because I'm causing linker errors by adding new functions with all of those affected names, but where are these? There's something strange going on with this. Yeah, so these are called path and so forth, but I don't know if there's a macro or something. mean, it's not. Don't forget it's some unusual name, like adding an underscore. It might. They're still showing up. So it's image path stroke. I guess I didn't go on that one. Context and I don't see codec, I guess. This is bizarre. I'll try cleaning this and see if I can build it again with any better results. But might take a little while. Well, if I don't get too much further, I might have to look at this offline because I could be beating my head against the wall forever, like I was at the beginning. Maybe I'll try to get a little progress and then resume from there if nothing else. So onto these in here. Don't. My fan's going. It's quite a compile. now it built fine. I also found exporting a lot of symbols. I'll try. It's gonna build all over again. I should have been building this as static. Okay, well, I guess I can make some progress from here. I will, once this rebuilds, if it does rebuild, I guess. But anyhow, my plan of attack now. I need to find image and the relevant parts of EL image. Init, yeah. So if you have one of these, which is going to be to start. So I assume just going to allocate that in Lua, and you make it valid by initting it, and you destroy it by, as you might guess, destroy. This will be what's setting that Boolean to false to invalidate the object. I notice these all seem to have init as, or init, and then later on create. And I looked, if you look into the code for this, you'll see that it's basically just doing the create afterward. So it's doing the same thing as init would do, and then piling a create on top. So I think for now, maybe we'll just go with init as, just to get something up and running. What else is there here? The only other thing for image that I see is write to file. That takes a codec. So how are we going to want to do this? So I think those getters should probably return these pointers. And that one shouldn't actually be too hard. Codec, I think. Name. And image codec, okay. So codec, all we need is find by name, I think, and we can just init it. Could probably just do that. Context, we need to init a context with an image. We have some setups. We have a few things, but I think these shouldn't be too bad. Depending on how this works, I think maybe I'll just add a fast path for using the number. It's not a fast path, but a direct path for using that. And we have 3 functions for path. So this shouldn't actually be terrible. And we'll want to share these between each other, so we want to return image core, call that get image, and it'll have an arg. Maybe we can default this to 1. That's what I I assume these are all structs, I think. I think these are. Well, they would have to be because they're in, because they're in the C API. So forward declare these. Codec. These are all going to look pretty much the same. So path core. Okay. And we have one context. DL context core. Yeah. These are completely out of order, I guess, but okay, so we'll want these in their respective classes. We're using it here. So, sorry. We'll come first. And we can dispense with them now and then, and you only want the default arg ones. So they're all still going to be the same. So no, that's where the context actually should have been. Codec, image codec core, that's what it is. Codec. The get image. And path. Okay, and finally we want something like this. So this should be turn get DL path core arg path. I think that returns a pointer, right? Yeah. So it's already in the form we want. Image will be same thing. And as the plugin goes on, you wouldn't just be calling these image or path or anything, because you'll be stomping on other meta tables potentially that have the same names. So probably it'll be something like blend2d. You can even do that now, I guess. Yeah, why not? Sorry, I heard some noises. I thought my cat might be prowling around. image quick. I'll build that. Okay, this isn't exposed to you unless you. Interesting. Okay, so this is exactly for plugins, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's telling me that. No, well, I guess I shouldn't really be doing the API anyway, but it's in here. Okay, yeah, the API is included. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, I probably want that anyway because well, we'll see. Okay, yeah, that built right off. Now, we'll follow this example. And so I'll probably add, I think I'll add one. Right, so I'm going to add a function. It builds. So I'm going to have a new path function. And each of these little submodules is going to make contain a new function or something like that to build itself. So I hope this should be fine. I could even just return it and then no, but I'll do it. I'll do it this way. So that'll be so yeah, I'll have I'll call it new. Capital N. And then new path. So I'll do that for all of them. And I start filling this in. New image. I mean, I could have done this a little more automatically in the where I'm going to be putting these all together, but there's potentially we could add more functions into each of these tables. But for consistency, I'm just going to do it. Or for not consistency, but for so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to put it in here. And last but not least, we want I don't know if you even care about utils anymore, but we want that common stuff when we so want any of that right now. So we do want a table for the plugin itself, because that's what we'll be exposing to Lua now. And we'll make a little table of each of those I'll use the same termination criteria that setlibs does, even though I'm not going to be doing that here. Right. So codec, add codec, context, add image. And it would actually be less code to do this manually at the moment, but as we add all those classes, I don't think that'll hold true. So orient I gets 0. We got this classes, I guess. So while this is called func and this is called name, or the other way around rather. So while there's a function, that'll terminate when we get to this case. Push. So we push one of these functions, which is the thing we defined here. And assign it into the table at whatever name we gave it. So I committed to that name. We'll have whatever we already have plus equals func. And at the end, we'll have all those. We'll have a table with subtables, each of them having the new function in it. I forgot a quote. All right, so built. And now, so we'll take this this formula we followed before and sort of applying it to all our objects. First things first, big path. So we'll make an object. In this case, new DL path core, I think. Yeah. Make sure it builds. Looks like it's going. Might get an explosion of linker errors. No, we didn't. Okay. So we'll want that, and we'll want this thing. So copy that. And last but not least, we'll want to set the table at the end. So, and we want these names to match, because if we don't do that, then we really have trouble. There we go. So we'll take this and bring it into each of these. I'm returning, okay. Could have made that. This time it's an image, and we want car. It might be. So I don't think this quite lends itself to a utility function, just because I've been putting this stuff inside. If we, I mean, we could. We could just pass the function to another utility function, and maybe that's something I'll ultimately end up doing. But for now, no. For now, I'll just keep what I'm doing right here. Did I do that? No, I didn't. Okay. I should almost be returning the results just to make sure that they get assigned into something compatible. I've never quite found a way to make associate the name to this, and so that it honors this here. I think there must be. I mean, maybe some of the newer C++ stuff will let me do it. I've been stranded at C++11 for a while, so I don't know what the newer stuff will let you do. Okay, so codec I think was the simplest of these. Codec find by name. Right, so Oh, I won't be needing much of this, I don't think. So I'll slim it down, right? Because I'm not yet doing any assignments. I don't have any custom data members that I'm aware of. I think I can make this index directly. We just need to add a destroy function. And what did I just say? Get index by name? Get codec by name? Find by name. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to capitalize it according to the C++ API, but I don't know if it's right to do so. Okay. I'll get sick of typing all this after a while. Codec, get codec. And that should be 1 because it's should have a default value. The image codec, I called it that. Okay. I don't know if I should do that because it's called. No, it is called image codec. Okay. Now some of this is a little out. Some of this is a little inconsistent then, but okay. If it's already destroyed, this should throw an error. Actually, I don't even need to return the value. I can just what is this? I think it's codec this VL image codec destroy. Okay. And voila. Oops. There we go. So if it's already destroyed, that should throw an error. But oh, so I do actually want this because I have okay, I should have another utility because I'm gonna get sick of typing this all the time. Destroy. And since I'm going to be the since I'm going to be the one doing this, I'm only going to be doing this in the destroy function, so I think I can get away with, if I do it afterward, not doing the check U data. I can, because that'll already be done for me when I do the get. So I'll be doing to user data, I think. Oh, no Lua L. It's just Lua to user data. Yeah, there we go. So I'll do Blend2D's version, then I'll do my version. think this will always be the first argument, so I don't even need that one. Yeah. Find by name. Oof. Oh, I'll have to start checking the results at some point, but not at the moment. Okay, it's the codec. Codec by name. It's not the one I want, is it? Okay, I don't have to have. Okay, assume if you don't supply the name, like, because the docs I'm looking at are not supplying a name, so I'm assuming if you leave it null, it's okay. Well, I mean, I just looked at the code and it indicated as much, but it's the little string. So check string, and I'll leave this null for now, assuming it's. Oops. What is that? Size T. Oh, okay. This isn't. Oh, right, because it's looking through an array. So, okay. So let's hope for. I'm hoping that's all right. And then GC, I need a garbage collector. I think. Okay, I'll add another. I'm going to. How do I want to do this? I'm actually going to. So this one's going to take the object itself, because that way. Right, it assumes you already have the object because you need to get it. Just yeah. So I'll return this boolean. That way you can get the object, so it'll go through this. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to have to add a Oh, okay. Just to make sure, I wanted to do at least that, so I will indeed hit the object. It is still going to be the first one. Right. Man. Okay. So I want the GC to know it's getting the right thing, but I don't want it to throw an error if it has already been destroyed. So if I'm passing pointer to a boolean, then I want to get the value. That's intact. So okay. Intact pointer. So if we're supplying a pointer, get back the value of intact. Otherwise, ensure that it is intact. And return the object in either case. Whew. So right. So these getters So what do I want this? I'll put these here. We usually won't care. It will, however, mean we have to supply. I don't think we can name arguments, so we'll have to. This. Okay. So when we get it here, we'll have to put that one in there, and then we'll check if it's around. If it's still intact, destroy it. And then this doesn't particularly matter because the memory is still there, so it's not going to be stepping on anything. So now the garbage collector will actually this is, we don't need to do this in the garbage collector because it's going to disappear after that. But we want this. This was for the garbage collector. So if it has not already been destroyed, destroy it. Otherwise, just leave it alone. In destroy itself, that should actually be an error if it has already been destroyed. So I'm going to leave that. As it was. And didn't return anything. I'm supposed to do this right, these things. No. I don't know what happens if these objects disappear while they're attached to something else. I suppose that, will they blow up? They do have, I'll have to look into that. I'll just keep everything around for now. So in theory, we have everything we need for codecs. What was the next? Next one was contexts. Okay, image, I think. Yeah, image only has a couple of methods, so I'm gonna do that next. For the most part, codec looks like this. I think these are similar, or yeah. And GC likewise. Yeah, I don't know why I did that twice over here. So, I could have just returned null, I guess, if it was missing. Which I think this even handles. No, it doesn't. Well, am I going to lose any sleep over that? I'll maybe tidy it up later. Okay, all we care about for images, as far as I saw, was write to file. Write to file. Okay. Let's expect. So, image. What image init? Image init as, I guess we'll go for. Format WH. Anything for that? I didn't. Yeah. I didn't do that for the codec, did I? Okay. So I do need to return from the codec. Codec core. NBL image codec init. Yeah. Okay. That's actually good because that will type check these. All right, so we'll demand that we get integers for I think this is, yeah, they're ints. Oh, we'll require those to be on the stack. So this is actually WH format. And I don't know what that is. Okay, so this is one of these. I'll add something to document 30. Well, that's right. Yeah. Get format. I don't know all of the places where this can appear, so I think it can, if you do the create, it appears in the later argument, I think. No, maybe not actually, but I'll put the arg, and I'm going to get these as strings. So this is kind of a convention I have for dropping the first part of an enum and then adding the rest afterward. Or I mean, we'll just eliding it there, and then so what you're going to see in Lua. I don't think I want those. Yeah, those look irrelevant for for our use. Okay, and I don't know if any of these can be default. I don't know if you can use a none either, but this looks like one we're going to use. I don't know if I'm not going to default it for now, but maybe it's the same thing to do. Maybe dropping none is as well, but we'll see. So you need a null here, but you don't need a. You have one less than the stable below, and then we do Lua L check option. And this will be whatever arg is. We don't want a default yet, we don't know. But we'll take this list up here, and that should give us back an index, which we can go into that with, into the formats. So this is in the wrong file. This might be more of a utility. We'll see how much we need it later. Okay, 32 T format. It's get format from argument 3. Okay, and we'll BO image init as. I suppose what you would do here is check if the integer is null, then just use a normal init, and we'd add a create function here somewhere. But at the moment we don't need that image init. I'm capitalizing all these things wrong. Okay, image as image WH format. And okay, destroy. We don't want to destroy. We need GC. What did I do here? I slaughtered. Goes back in there, I guess. Now we want write to file. Write to file. And I suppose later on can add path support, but certainly not a thing we'd have right out of the gate. Okay, and this will be get codec, get image codec. So that's an example of where you wouldn't have a default index 1. And that should check if it exists. So far everything's good. And I did that all over the place. Okay. I think sometimes Visual Studio is helping me in ways I don't want. So I could, if I don't actually need that, I could have argument of 0 or something that would handle that case, but so I built. I think paths was next. Yeah, paths looks pretty. Paths doesn't look too bad. Move 2 and cubic 2. That's all we've got. Okay. So let's start with very inconsistent naming. What do you got? I'll just copy the whole thing. Oh yeah, I'm doing it. Okay. No, it was just me talking to somebody, so don't worry about that. Okay, it should follow roughly the same format, I believe. Bar looks good. Doing that again. Wait, did I did it here too? Yeah, I did. Probably in codec. Did. Okay. And this again will tighten that up down the road. This is already going a little long, so I think at most I'm going to do the first sample. And if it doesn't work, I'll set it aside for tonight, I think. Far so good. We don't have any notion of this, or at least wasn't in the sample. Path flux. What we did have was move to and path, move the cubic 2 and move to, I think. Yeah. Move to cubic 2. Okay, so we'll get the path. We don't want. We don't even want the first argument. I'm doing that. I'm wasting it. I didn't do it there, but I did it here. Okay. And move to will be like it. Move to just takes two integers. So world path move to. Oh, it doubles. Okay. So and I can actually just merge it all in. And cubic 2 is essentially the same thing, just with 2 more. Except cubic 2 is not called move 2. Actually takes more. So because there's a quadratic that I'm I suppose I'll that helps, but that done, all we have left is, well, assuming this is down, all we have left is the, what should I call it, the context. I guess I'll just, what do we have here? Now, copy that. I don't think I need any of this anymore. No, I just need that index, so I think I'm okay there. I'll regret that. Hello, Danny. We got 3 of the 4 classes I need built, I think. Might be getting close to testing. And for anyone who does watch this, if you saw me take a break and type, I was talking to him. He's making an interesting project. And I'm working off of the getting started up in the chat here. So those are the first example are what I'm building methods for. And see context init. Okay, the one in the example is taking the image. As I checked earlier on it, this can be null too, these options. So I'm going to do context init as. Now I'll actually grab this image first. I suppose I could just do it here. So get image 2, or 1 actually, I suppose. So we assume the image is here. And again, like I said, for images themselves, if you wanted to do it the other way, we would just make another create function, and did I do that too? No? Huh. Okay. So we could add that as a create method and then assign it later. But I won't do that for now because I'm just trying to get something going. The functions I want are set comp op, fill all. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6 of these. Okay, so I got end. Also we got end fill all. Set comp op. Set, wait. No, I'm using set comp op twice. That saves me some trouble. Set fill style. And fill something. Fill path. I'm doing it right in front of you. From your very eyes. Okay, I think those are the ones I need. So end looks very simple. End is just DL context end, I guess. Yeah. And there we go. Fill all looks the same. Okay, fill path just takes a pass. This must be something more general. Oh, okay. They'll have D. I guess that's for future compatibility. Because these others have I and D versions. Set fill style at now this one I'm a little curious about because where is this? Set fill style. Oh, this is wow. Okay, so this is some object I don't have. Okay, so in the C++ version, it's taking, I think it's disambiguating according to what you give it. So it looks like in that example, it's probably making this. That doesn't help. No, I guess that. So yeah, so it's just a constructor to constructor. RGBA. But if okay, I'm gonna guess that this is okay. Oh, that's a stroke style. Okay. Okay, Phil. So I'm gonna guess that this is probably doing the same thing. And I'll just pull that out of the number because you can get a 32-bit number out of a Lua value, so it should be fine. There are a lot, yes. It looks like it looks like once you get going, it probably takes form nicely. I think it does. It's you can do this pretty easily by following the C++ methods, but it looks like it wouldn't be too hard to just use these and work back to this. Or sorry, the C. You can use these to do the example C++ methods, but probably you could just go straight to them. You just wouldn't know what everything was unless you. I just figure this is an easier way to know what all is there. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe in time I'll adopt a different strategy. So this is fill style, right? So that one we want. And get context. And then this is just Lua to integer, I hope. Or maybe I guess I should, since I'm checking the other ones kind of rigorously, I'll do a checker. Is that chicken etcher? Oh, okay. I'm wondering if that is that going to complain if I do OXFFFF, it will come back as -1 and then. No, but I guess I'm turning it to U32 anyway. No, that should be okay. Just if you do two integer and it's not a number, it'll puke on you, but it won't give an error message. And everything else, I've been using these check versions, which I think will try to do a better message, but let's see. Fill path. Wait, was that fill path? Or wait. Can I do that? What the heck? Huh. So I didn't see myself doing that, but I guess I accidentally erased some of that. And let's fill out D2. Now, set comp up. I think it's fill style. All I got. Yes. All right, so set comp. There we go. And I don't know what these are. I see some list here. DL comp up. Okay. All right. Oof. Wow. Okay, there's a big list. I guess these are all those. The same ones you use in Oh yeah, there's a dog. It's not my dog, it's the neighbor's dog. It's a little chihuahua. Very loud. Okay, so I'll do the same thing I did before. But what do I need? I need source over. Which is the first one. Default. Okay, it says default, so I'm going to assume I'm allowed to default. I don't actually know what Mexican gun policy is, but I think you can own one for hunting, I guess, but I've seen some say that policies are more lenient or are more liberal than what they're given credit for here. But yeah, you probably you probably shouldn't shoot a dog with it. Okay. Since this is the default, I'm going to I don't feel like doing this whole list, so I'm just going to return that. I said in one of these that I tend to make strings equal phenoms, and Visual Studio defaults are antagonizing me, I should say. Yeah, I tend to pair enums with strings and then fetch them out of a list. And I guess in time I'll do that. I can probably make a macro to shorten the time up. It would build these both at once, but I don't want to do 29 or 30 things just now. Wouldn't mind being on a farm right now. Mentioned there's pros and cons to being inside of a city, but so we cheated there, but that's what the example did. Now I'll see if this, do I have it? I must have this building. No, it looks okay. I had to purge the plugins a little bit for, I don't know, it was acting up on me again. I think just because I was streaming. It's a curse of when you're live and things are going badly. So I'll build this, and fingers crossed we've got everything we need. So okay. So example one looks like this. Indeed. Okay, so this is the C++ version of that. Now, little by little, let's try to run this. Let's first see if it actually. Okay, it got to it got to requiring the plugin. So that's a good sign. And I think, how did I do this now? I had a. No, this is a Zero Brain Studio. Although I don't have Notepad open right now, but Notepad++ rather, but this is and I don't have the link handy, but it shouldn't be too hard to find with that name. All right, so image gets entity image. All right, so these are in these namespaces here. I like it. So new, I'll just copy this exactly. 40 by 4480 PRG, yeah, PRGB32. And let's do the context as well. I don't know how much of this I want to try before I test. Context new, there we go. So So this constructor should correspond to this new. This constructor should correspond to this one. And I mentioned earlier, I don't know what happens if they go out of scope, because I don't see any reference counting mentioned. So I might have to fake that if there is none, just so that you don't bring down the entire program if they do go out of scope. And at the end, we want a context end. Oh, frick. Which is okay, a little hack for now. Which is of course a little keyword, so I don't know what I should do about that. And I could keep them capitalized like they are in the C API, but then they don't match the C++ API calls, and should I just make that one an exception, or should I enforce that convention, or what? And after the context ends, we want a codec. I think that was, yeah, just called codec. And the example finds the example is finding BMP, but officially that's not supported in Solr. Although I think it might be in Windows anyway. Looking through the code, I think JPEG, I think this is how it was spelled. I'll actually just do this all the way through and see if I get all the way or not. And if not, where I get. Where was it? Right. I'm going to confuse myself if I keep using different names. Okay, set conf source copy Oh, nuts. It actually does use another one. Okay. I'll get to that in a minute then. this is the one where I was trying to go directly to the integer. And I want this in, I don't know where that would put it if it, and make sure all the codes, no, not right. And the Zero Brain has this analyze thing where you can check if it has broken code syntax. I think it's pretty much solid for Lua 5.1. I think it runs it through another linter too, just to see if any code looks off. But you can specify all kinds of options for it. Now we need to fix that somewhat, because there was another one of these was missing. Or there were more than just one. So source over, was it source over and source copy? I think it was. Oh, copy wasn't even. Okay. So we'll do the first two. Source over. That I don't know. It might very well do so. I forget what all the options are. There's a few that I turn off when I get a new build, but for the most part, I think I'm unaware of most of what's in there. I think these are the two we needed. So I'll double check here. Source copy, source over. Source copy, source over. Yeah. And the rest we'll do later. So that's yeah, I'll check option again. Arg. And there actually is a default this time because it says default for source over. So I'm assuming that means you can leave it to the interface, but I guess maybe I better check. And from names. I'll wipe these and build it again. Okay. So now source over, source copy. So I think I'll check out. Okay, we don't want a bitmap. I don't know if that quite matters, but so ideally it will get to 16. Let's see. Oh, that wasn't 16. That was a 1. Wow. Oh, I think I know where I broke this, but okay, so my temp index field image, so this is not, I didn't make a table out of this, I guess. I'm not doing that? New table. Oh, I'm not actually calling these, am I? Yeah, I want to push this function and call it. Okay. And I do know this is a function, so I don't need to protect it. Not giving it any arguments. I just want the one result. So this should be what I want to call this class, I guess. That should give me the table. Unless I didn't return them or something like that. And I return that one. Oh, wait. 6. Okay, got the 6. I think it crashed. Now, interesting question is, does this disappear if I load it again? Yeah, I've got to set up the window again. Okay. Okay, I don't know how to restore that. And now I guess it just took a while to become valid. Well, that's a risk of native plugins that you can bring down the simulator entirely. So it got to 6 and then stopped. So if we go here, path move to, the move to is broken. So let's look at that one. So either something is broken in move to, or path itself is junk. Because we didn't init it. Because it doesn't take any, it never took our results, so it didn't. Yeah. So I was just getting random garbage. There we go. Right, let's try this again. Oh, okay. This is the Fiora plugin. This is not what I was intending to show. Because I lost my last open project, so it's very confused there for a second. I didn't get to 6. Let's see, so what did I call it? Blended. 8. Okay, so that's that argument to number 1 got a number. All right. Well, that's a Lua crash, so that's not as horrible. And that's just because I forgot the colon. So find by name. Another Lua crash. It's probably the same thing. No? That might just be a... Oh, okay. I'm checking for a string in the wrong argument. I got the 14. Oh, maybe this is doing something. I got to, oh, sorry, I ran it again. I got to 16, so in theory this did something. So now, well, now I'll change the sample up a bit. Because if it did get to 16, then it means that I should have an image. So I don't even need blend2D for this step. So and I did that with because I also have these inside, and I didn't know where else I might have them. So that had double braces inside double braces, so that's all that was about. So what is this called? Just copy that. And that's it has a size. I don't need that. So no, I might have. Did I misname it? Yes. It might be that the last step didn't work. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I'll I'm going to try this with a bitmap technique that was used on the sample just in case. I don't know where this is being put. And then, no. There's a, I don't think this shows up in the stream, but there's a sandbox. Yeah, it's empty though. That's, so I'm not sure if anything is getting written. Well, I'm a bit stumped, but what I haven't done is start going through and checking the result of everything, and maybe I think I'll pick back up on this with that, because that's on the one hand more of the plugin to bind, I guess, and on the other hand it'll show the debugging process in action. But at the moment I'm getting a bit tired of doing this, so I think I'll table that for now and